Hi, in this video, I want to have a deep look at pagination. Why did I say not only .NET and ASP.NET Core or such things related to C Sharp and .NET? Because my example is implemented with C Sharp in .NET Core, but it's not a stick in any technology. If you want to do the same with TypeScript in Node.js, Python, Java, whatever, doesn't matter. If you understand the concept, you can do it in any technology, any stack, whatever. So just learn the concept, the language, the framework, doesn't matter. Without wasting any time, I'm going to jump to the code. Let's see. This is a very simple model, entity, something like that. So if you want to do the same in any other programming language, do it. Very simple. A simple class, you can have an struct or something like that. As I said, in any programming language, things might be a little bit different, but the concept is the same. Okay, so this is my model, at least for time being. Let's go to my controller, taxpayer controller. Till here, I just created dummy data. Very easy. It's like a loop, 1 to 1000. I created some dummy data. So nothing is difficult, nothing is complicated. So by this, I would have a list of taxpayers. That's all. First concept, offset base pagination. The easiest way. You skip a number of records and fetch the next n items. How should we call it? If I deploy this, I would have something like an endpoint, URL, IP, something like that, and then API, taxpayer, which is my controller name. Then, because of this name inside my HTTP GET attribute, I would have offset, then query string. Offset is 0, limit is 10. So for the first page, it shows the first 10 items. Then I can increase this number to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and have the next numbers or pages. Let's look at the implementation. I will skip the offset and then take the number of rows that I want to show. This is the simplest way. When we should use, you need simple pagination. Okay? Everything is fine. Everything is easy. Problems, downsides would be slow. Yeah, because it scans through all the records, it might be a little bit slow. If data changes, the result also might be different. But as I said, this is the simplest way to have pagination in any programming language. In other programming languages, this skip and take might be different, but the concept is the same. You should jump equal to the number of offset and then take whatever record you want. That's all. So the first one is done. Let's go to the second one. Page-based pagination. Let's have a look at implementation at first. Skip page times size and then take the size of the records. So if you want to call it, it should be like this. Page 2, size 10. Very easy. Okay? This one also is a simple one. Okay? That's why it said as a downside, it would be suffered from the same issue as offset base. Again, if data changes, pages might be shifted to other way, other behaviors. So these two are the simplest ones. Okay, if I want to go for cursor base and the other ones, I need to make my entity model a little bit more advanced. How? Let's have a look. First of all, I need these two new more properties. To do what? The time that the record is created and a cursor. What is this? It is a string property. You will see the usage very soon. And also, when I want to create my dummy data, these two also should not be forgotten. So let's do it. See, these two poor guys should not be forgotten. So in my dummy data, I would give these two also value. Okay? Not complicated, not difficult. Then I can explain the cursor method concept. In the cursor, I have a cursor and limit. So what is the cursor? In the cursor, I will have something from the latest record that I have dealt with. For example, if in one page I have 4 rows or 10 rows, because I said 10, I will have the latest cursor property that I have here, I stored here, inside the cursor, like this. See? Then I can say, from this cursor, give me the next 10, for example. We find the index by this, and then say skip and take. That's why I have added this new property into my entity. Very easy. Okay? If you want to have real time, very accurate pagination, this way is suggested. As a downside, it said it is a little bit complicated or needs storing and managing cursor, but it's not difficult. We only store the cursor property of the last record in each page. That's all. And then we can use it when we want to call the endpoint. That's all. That's all. No problem. The other one, Keyset-Based. This one also is kind of the same. It's not that difficult, but let me tell you something. This way is not suggested that much. It is good for high performance paginations, stories, but as I said, this way is not so easy to deal with, and we need to index based on ID or something like that. So I don't suggest this way that much. In here, we should say after ID, for example, after ID 100. Then it would find if there is any value and then jump to that place, and then we can say give us, for example, 10 record. Not so difficult, but as I said, dealing with this way needs have a good reason. Otherwise, I don't suggest this way that much. Time-based pagination. Since we already created at, we can deal with this way like this. We say the records that created at this time or more than this time after this exact time, and then take whatever we want like this. Or we can give it a start time and end time. This way also is not that difficult. And at the end, hybrid way, we can mix the cursor and the older one together. We have a start date and end date and cursor at the same time. This way is so stable. The performance also is not bad and everything is fine. You can see the implementation here. We have the concept of cursor and then dealing with a start and end time at the same time like this. So as a software architect or senior developer, you should decide when to use each way to have a very good pagination. Okay? So as I said, any programming language, any framework, any platform, learn what to do and then implement it. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.